Hi there, this is Solitude from Solitude Films, and welcome to another video. This video is just an update of my Thing collection, because I picked up a couple of items and a couple of memorabilia pieces for Hellraiser. So I'll start with the Thing first. Obviously it is one of my favourite films of all time, probably my top 10, because it's just about perfect. So we'll start off with the Scream Factory 2-disc Blu-ray, which has really nice extras. I'm sure you've all seen this one before. Now we have the VHS Blu-ray edition, which pulls out to form a nice videotape. Obviously younger viewers might not remember videotape, and that opens up and you get little cards. There's McCready. And you get if I can open it, because man is the warmest place to hide apparently. And then you have the 2 discs, so you have a Blu-ray and a DVD. Again, let me know in the comments below which films you have in multiple editions, or is it just me that's a little bit strange? So that's the Thing VHS edition. And then I have 3 steelbooks. So this is a really nice, I think this was a Zavi. It's a really nice steelbook with the standard disc. And then we have this one with the nice melted phases, and in the back has I should say I have the Warner archive of The Thing from Another World, the 1951 film, which is still very good, but it's just not as good as the 1982 John Carpenter film, which of course was a box office disaster. The same way Blade Runner was a box office disaster, but E.T. was a box office smash. Go figure. And which are the films that we talk about 37 years later the most? Answers in a postcard, whether it's E.T., The Thing or Blade Runner. I know one that we don't talk about that much, and we get a nice little booklet. I mean, it's a similar, because this is the Arrow steelbook, so it's a similar booklet. This is the Arrow single edition. I mean, the making of Terror Takes Shape, which is about an hour and a half, is one of the best making of documentaries. But there's also another one, it's the Scream Factory, which is really good. And there's also a new one, 1982, One Amazing Summer, which is really good. And this is the bigger edition of Arrow that I managed to pick up, because I never actually got it when it came out originally. So this has a book and a poster. The book is essentially the same booklet, apart from it does have a bit of the script, and I think it's actually the ending, or the alternate ending, which they filmed, but thank goodness never actually released. It might have been a completely different film. And again, this has a bigger poster. And it also has the film, which is quite handy. And the latest edition that I picked up is the German box, which is limited to 2000. This is number 1836. And this is quite a... As I wreck the joint. This is quite a beautiful box. You get the soundtrack CD by Ennio Morricone. You get an Outpost 31 badge. You get a nice selection of cards. Which I wish you were here, which is a lovely touch, because we don't really... Oh, that's the same one. Nice little cards, which is awesome. You get 2 posters, including one which is... You can see that. So you get 2 posters with it. You also get a copy of Who Goes There, the original short story by John Campbell. This is in German, but I've always wanted to catch up on my German. You also get this thick book inside the thing, which again is in German, but you can figure out what's going on. Because even though we speak different languages, the thing is universal, not just the studio it was made. And then we actually have the discs. So this is a 3-disc edition. So it has the 82 film, the bonus features, and it also has the 2011 prequel, which I don't actually have in Blu-ray for obvious reasons. But this actually gives you the prequel as well, which I suppose is okay for a reference of how did the axe get there, how did the bodies get there that were burned up, how did the man slit his wrists. Again, it's the prequel was one of those, they started with physical effects, and for some reason at some point during the production they decided, let's scrap the physical effects and let's go CG, which are fairly bad, and it just takes you out of the experience. It's not a horrendously bad film, it's just, I guess, a little bit pointless and a little bit of a missed opportunity. But it's okay having it in the set just for completionist sense. But that is a lovely addition for anybody like me who's mad enough to have different versions of the same film. So that's an updated Thing collection. Again, let me know in the comments if you've got any films that you have multiple editions of, just because you love the film that much. And then I'm just going to move on to Hellraiser. Now Hellraiser is a film that's quite close to my heart. There's something about Hellraiser. The films aren't great. Even the first one, it's very good, but it's still not great. Clive Barker to me is a little bit like H.P. Lovecraft. His books don't really transfer to the screen that well. Even, he directed Hellraiser and he directed Nightbreed, even though that was torn to ribbons with the studio, and the studio didn't want to really go for the full vision. I read Books of Blood when I was young, and they had quite an effect on me. But again, his books really kind of go to your imagination and lean on your imagination, and I don't really think they transfer that well to the screen. But even although the films aren't great, I do have a soft spot for them. Apparently David S. Goyer is rebooting the franchise, and hopefully the films were based on a short story, really. I mean, I think it's officially called a novella, but it's not really very long at all. And the lead Cenobite in that was female. Not necessarily female, but they were kind of non-gender specific. So I hope they kind of go and reboot it back to the novel. Because Pinhead, or what became Pinhead, was essentially one of the minions of kind of the Queen Cenobite. So what it turns into, who knows? Reboots are never that impressive, but we'll see what happens. Certainly because a lot of the sequels are quite bad. So I don't have much in the way of a Hellraiser collection. I just have the 1 to 3 box set. I don't have the Scarlet box set, which I wish I'd actually picked up when it came out, but I wasn't really aware of it at the time. So these are the first 3. These are obviously the best films, even though I do have a soft spot for 4. Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, and Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which is where it kind of fell apart a little bit because they went to America to shoot it in the Carolinas. The first 2 were shot in the UK, but then kind of New Line kind of not changed hands, but kind of producers were changed, and they went to America, and it became, they essentially turned Pinhead into another Freddy Krueger or Jason Voorhees, and Pinhead was never about that really. And he ended up getting catchphrases, not catchphrases, but he got kind of lots of one-liners, and I mean, there's something about the premise. I think that's why I still have a soft spot for it. There's something about the whole sadomasochistic thing, and how much pleasure, if your appetite for deeper and darker things, you just want more and more and more and go deeper and darker down that hole. So I also have the next 4. Bloodline I do have a soft spot for. It kind of goes into the future and into the past, and it's a nice wee film. Inferno, Hellseeker and Hellworld are really quite bad. I think Hellworld was the last one with Doug Bradley. I haven't seen the last 2. If you haven't seen Hellraiser before, probably just watch the first 2 really. So the things that I picked up is an autographed Clive Barker and Doug Bradley print, and that has the certificate of authenticity. It's just that such a nice picture. Clive Barker looking really young. And the other thing is a signed photo from Hellraiser 2, Hellbound. And there's little butterball at the end. And again, this has an authenticity, and quickly I'll just show you, it has some prints of the cast doing the signing. So there's Doug Bradley concentrating, and there's the female Cenobite, and there's Nasher, and there's Butterball, who also was in Nightbreed. So I just thought they were a couple of nice little additions, hoping to get them framed at some point, and hopefully the reboot will be back to kind of what the series was actually about. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave any comments you like down below, what you think of Hellraiser and the Thing. Again, whether you have multiple editions of the same film, and hopefully we'll see you again. This is Saul Sharon saying farewell.